Word search puzzles are really relaxing, and they're really the only word puzzle that I truly love. Now, I'm not saying I dislike crossword puzzles, I just like word searches a little bit better, mostly because of how casual and fun they are. You don't have to rack your brain trying to recall information when you're just looking through a grid trying to find a letter. I've been able to cover games around word searches before thanks to the by POWGI line of puzzle games. It's been a good while since I covered my first one, which I believe was a word search game, and now we finally got another with a bunch of twists and turns in it. So here is my review of 50 Words by POWGI for the Nintendo Switch. When it comes to gameplay, this is a collection of word search puzzles. Think of it like a magazine of word search puzzles you buy at the store, but in video game form. Now when you first boot up the game, just like the other POWGI games, all puzzles are unlocked by default, so all you need to do is cycle through until you find one you want, dive in, and start puzzle solving. But this isn't the word search that you know from those magazines. As I said in the intro, there are some twists and turns that make this very different from your typical word search puzzle. The first and most obvious difference is the fact that we're not working in a square or rectangular grid anymore. All of the letters are jumbled around in huge, very odd shaped maps. They're so huge that you have to zoom out to see the whole map, meaning that as you solve the puzzles, you're going to actually have to be scrolling around to see where everything is. Now let's get to the elements that make the game harder in some ways and easier in others. Every puzzle has 50 words under a certain theme, but you don't know what those words are. The only word list the game has is the one that fills up as you find words in each puzzle. This can make things a lot harder because if you don't know the theme of the puzzle you're doing, you're probably not going to be able to recall and find words very quickly. But there is a bright side to this that will allow you to find words whether you know the words or not. Every letter in each puzzle is used for at least one word, and when you highlight and get a word correctly, all of the letters will change color. Letters that stay black are used for other words in the puzzle, but all the letters that gray out are completely used up, meaning that you just got a bunch of letters you don't have to worry about anymore. This can really be used to your advantage because as you highlight certain areas and get a lot of stuff, you're going to start seeing words that you may not know but you recognize as words, allowing you to complete a lot of puzzles without having to mentally recall every single word being related to that theme. Now that we've got the gist of the puzzles, let's talk about all of the extra features here. A lot of these games don't have that much in terms of extra features. You pause the game and you might have a few audio options and that's pretty much it. But this game has quite a few little convenience options thrown in to help you on your way. All of the highlighter colors can be toggled, so if it's hard for you to see when you put in the white highlighter or yellow highlighter, you can just hit the L and R buttons to toggle whichever one you want. And for better seeability, there's also a light mode and dark mode toggle, letting you change the game's background from white to black so you don't hurt your eyes as much if you're playing this at night in a dark room. When it comes to how much you can do and how much content there is no question that you're going to get a lot of time out of this game. The game's only got about 60 puzzles, which is a lot less than the normal puzzle count for these POWGI games, but considering the fact that most typical crossword puzzles only have about 25 or 30 words to find and these have 50 apiece, it partially compensates for that low puzzle count. When it comes to actual time and hours though, the game's going to keep you pretty busy. Each puzzle only took me around 15 to 20 minutes to clear my first try without too many problems. So unless you're a word search expert and can fly through these a lot faster than I can, you're going to get at least 15 to 20 hours out of this game. Now let's go into presentation for just a moment. I don't have anything to say about the visual presentation or performance, all of that is great and just like the other games. But what I do want to talk about is the sound and music. Some of the previous POWGI games I've criticized because they use the same music as the other POWGI games. And a lot of the time, most games would only have a single track that you hear for the entire game. Not only does this have music I haven't heard in previous POWGI games, but it has a bunch of different music tracks that cycles depending on what puzzles you choose. So when you go from one puzzle to the next, you're not going to hear that same looping music anymore, you're going to hear something new. And now let's get into battery life, which is huge no matter what you're playing this on. On the original Switch model, 50 Words has a battery range of 5 hours and 3 minutes on high settings, up to 7 hours and 30 minutes on low settings. And on the version 2 or Redbox model, it has a battery range of 9 hours on high settings, up to 10 hours and 54 minutes on low settings. Now in conclusion, 50 Words is an interesting little twist on the classic word search game. On the downside, there aren't as many puzzles here as you'd likely find in a word puzzle magazine, but despite that, it's still got a ton of content for you to trek through. Reviews to Go rates 50 Words by POWGI for the Nintendo Switch a 9 out of 10. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching and have a great day.